Jealousy is one of the most destructive emotions a person can feel. It can cause them to act out in ways that are harmful to themselves and to the person they are jealous of. Unfortunately, it is not uncommon to experience envy or jealousy from others throughout your life. After all, it is only natural to feel envious of someone who has something you want or you think you deserve. However, it is important to identify when these emotions are directed toward you so that you can take the steps to protect yourself. There are a few key signs that people are jealous of you. 1. The criticizer. If you notice someone constantly criticizing you and finding fault in everything you do, it might mean they're jealous of you. People who are jealous of others often try to bring them down by picking apart everything they do. If you're constantly being criticized by someone, it might be because they're jealous of your success. People often use sarcastic tones to talk with you, but they do it to downplay your superiority in order to hide their own insecurities. There will be a lot of personal attacks, some of which may be so subtle that you may not notice them immediately. It's important to remember that not everyone is going to be supportive of your successes, and you shouldn't let the negative opinions of others bring you down. 2. The saboteur. Jealousy is often the root of sabotage. When someone feels threatened by another person's success or progress, they may try to undermine them by sabotaging their work. Saboteurs often operate from a place of insecurity, feeling that they need to tear others down to feel better about themselves. This is a destructive mindset that can ruin relationships and projects. The goal is always to make it harder for you to succeed. Saboteurs may not want you to fail outright, but they don't want you to succeed either. This kind of behavior can be both frustrating and confusing. It's important to remember that sabotage usually comes from a place of insecurity. The person doing the sabotaging may be feeling threatened or inadequate. If you suspect that someone is sabotaging you, it's important to address the issue directly. Otherwise, the sabotaging behavior will likely continue. Just as you would with any other conflict, try to see the situation from their perspective. This doesn't mean that you have to agree with their behavior, but it can help you understand it. If you can resolve the underlying issues, the sabotaging behavior will likely stop. 3. The gossiper. There's an old saying, if you have nothing nice to say about someone, don't say anything at all. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop some people from gossiping. People gossip for many reasons, but one of the most common is that they're jealous of the person they're gossiping about. So if you find yourself on the receiving end of gossip, it might be because the person doing the gossiping is jealous of you. If someone is gossiping about someone else, it can be a way to make that person look bad. It can also be a way to make the person who is gossiping feel better about themselves. Gossip is easy to create and easy to spread. You typically know when someone is talking negatively about you. Sometimes when you enter a room, you can sense the change in atmosphere. You must recognize the signs and understand what they mean for you personally. Keep in mind that your reputation serves as your best form of advertising. Your dignity and sense of worth shouldn't be violated. If you hear about it happening, be sure to distance yourself from the situation and put yourself in a more positive environment. 4. The sycophant. Flattery is a form of manipulation that is used to control others. It is often used by people who are insecure and lack self-confidence. They use flattery to make others feel good about themselves and to make themselves feel important. Flattering someone is often a way of showing jealousy. It is a way of trying to control the other person by making them feel good about themselves. There's nothing wrong with being confident and enjoying compliments from others, but it's important to be aware of the motivations behind them. Be aware that people who give excessive compliments may do so because they're jealous of you. They may try to flatter you so they can pick up as much dirt as they can and use it against you afterward. It's important to take compliments graciously while looking for their true motives. Anyone who uses compliments as a weapon is not one of your friends. You need to be familiar with this kind of person. So, if you have people in your life who constantly compliment you and who seem fake, they are possibly jealous of you. When someone is envious of you, they frequently say great things but act negatively. They'll try to flatter you, but with practice, you'll be able to see their body language betraying their true feelings. 5. The belittler. There are many reasons belittling someone might be a sign of jealousy. If someone is constantly putting others down, it is often a way of making themselves feel better. Additionally, some people might be envious of the attention or admiration that the other person is receiving. They'll attempt to discredit your accomplishments. The belittler will attempt to devalue your work in order to make you feel as though you are too proud of yourself. They try to pop your balloon to take away your pride. You will hear them say things like, "Oh, anyone can do that," or "You were so lucky." They want to accomplish the same thing that you have in your life, but they cannot envision themselves doing it. When someone underestimates your achievements, it shows that you have succeeded since they now believe that you are better than them, and they want to bring you down. Don't be discouraged. Rather, use it as inspiration to show that you have something to be proud of and fuel yourself to do even better. 6. The bigot. When someone hates everything about someone, it is usually a sign of jealousy. They hate whatever you say, including your comments and advice. In essence, they hate your wisdom. Jealous people hate wisdom because wisdom makes them feel inferior. They would rather stay in their ignorant little world than open their minds and accept that there are people who are smarter and more successful than them. It's easier for them to hate wisdom than to admit that they need to learn something. Since they are biased against you, it can be difficult to talk or interact with them, and they will usually reject your contributions. When possible, don't bother sharing opinions with them and instead share your knowledge with others who will find it valuable. Whatever you do, don't stop using your knowledge to help others. That is exactly what they want you to do. 7. The copycat. Copycats are usually jealous of you because they are not as creative or skilled. The person who copies the things you do and acts like it is their own idea is often jealous of you. They try to copy everything in order to achieve the same level of success. This often leads to them feeling frustrated and unhappy because they can never quite reach the same level as the person they are copying because they don't actually have the necessary skills and can only ride on someone else's coattails. This can cause them to behave in a negative or even hostile manner as time goes on. If you notice that someone is suddenly dressing like you or talking like you, does the things you do, or suddenly likes the things you like, these are signs they may be jealous of you. They may even accuse you of copying them. There isn't much you can do with this kind of person beyond just doing what you do best. Continue to be yourself. Don't let their methods make you feel you should somehow change for them, because they will probably just copy the next thing you do. There are many different types of people that can be jealous of you. It is important to be aware of these different types so that you can better understand how to deal with them. Some people may be jealous of your success, while others may be jealous of your relationships. Ultimately, it is up to you to decide how to deal with each type of person. As a thank you for staying with us till the end, here's a bonus. Who you associate with defines who you are. There's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This means that the social circles we associate with have a significant impact on our overall well-being. If we surround ourselves with positive, like-minded people, we are more likely to be happy and successful. If we associate with negative people, we are more likely to be unhappy and unsuccessful. Therefore, it is important to carefully choose the social circles we associate with to improve our quality of life. Whether it's our professional life or personal life, we can choose the social circles we associate with. Of course, this is easier said than done, because sometimes circumstances do not allow us to just let go of some relationships or to gain others. But you should ask yourself whether you are where you want to be and if these negative associations help you achieve your goals. If not, it might be time to reevaluate with whom you should spend your time. It's important to associate with people who have a similar outlook on life. This doesn't mean that you should only associate with people who agree with you all the time, but it means that you should find people who share your core values. Choose social circles that make you happy. Associate with people that make you laugh and make you feel good about yourself. Life is too short to be surrounded by negativity, so choose associations that are positive and uplifting. That's it for today's video. See you next time, and Lux Diva!